Hi, I'm Scott Titsworth, Dean of the Scripps College of Communication here at Ohio University. It's my honor to welcome you to the college and more specifically to Gateway Day. I'd like to share a brief overview of Scripps and tell you about what I think makes it such a distinctive and special place. You've probably already chosen your major from one of our 5 schools, the E.W. Scripps School of Journalism, the School of Media Arts and Studies, the School of Visual Communication, or what we call VisCom, the School of Communication Studies, and the J. Warren McClure School of Emerging Communication Technologies. Our schools have a long legacy of leading the way in the communication industry. This year, we're celebrating 100 years of journalism education at Ohio. That tells you we've been at the forefront of the communication industry for a century now, and I'm telling you that we're just getting started. We've designed today's program to give you a sense of the Scripps student experience, and I'll emphasize that word, experience. We provide world-class opportunities for students to gain hands-on professional experience, whether it's through their academic coursework, on-campus involvement, or programs that take them across the country and around the world. The students we've lined up to talk to you today will tell you about those opportunities, like the class that culminates in a week-long research trip to theme parks in Orlando, Florida, our Scripps in DC program where students intern with political leaders and national media outlets, and of course, our on-campus student-run publications and organizations. Finally, you'll hear from them about their experience with technology. We understand the importance of providing access to new and emerging technologies across the communication discipline, and our students benefit from that access in countless ways. Our Game Research and Immersive Design Lab, or GRID Lab, is something of a research playground for students who are interested in game development and in virtual and augmented reality. For those of you interested in playing those games, we have a newly opened esports arena where Ohio's esports team competes and where all students can play at any time. We built it to include a broadcast booth so our students can produce all aspects of streamed intercollegiate esports competitions. You'll have access to all of this, plus many studios where you can produce podcasts, photography, music, film, and television soundtracks, and the list goes on. I'm excited for you to hear about all of it. Next up is a conversation between journalism major Cedric Granger and our assistant dean, Greg Moeller. I'll let them take it from here. I hope you enjoy the rest of our program, and I hope to see you on campus this fall.
Thank you, Dean. Hello, everyone. My name is Cedric Granger, and I'm a broadcast journalism news and information student here at Ohio University. I also have a minor in sports management, and I'm going after a certificate in podcasting. One of the reasons why I chose Ohio University was that it feels like home. Everybody was very inviting, and there's a really underrated prestige quality to Ohio University that I got to feel from just stepping foot on campus. So there's so many things that I love about Ohio University, and I'm excited to share them with you here today. But I'm not alone, as I am joined by Assistant Dean Greg Moeller. Greg, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Awesome, Cedric. Thank you for the warm introduction. My name is Greg Moeller, and I'm the Assistant Dean here in the Scripps College of Communication. I'm a proud Ohio University graduate, 2-time Bobcat. Got my first degree from the Scripps College of Communication. I'm not going to say what year, but many years ago, and earned my master's degree from the Patton College of Education. I actually left Ohio University for a few years and came back because Ohio University is home. Feels like home to me. So when I came back in 2008, it was a seamless transition being back here in Athens. I've been with the Scripps College of Communication, my home college, since 2016. Great place to be. And my main role is overseeing our Harris Student Support Center, which is a undergraduate advising student support center. I work with a fantastic team of 4 success advisors. I work with a career strategist or career coach. I work with an experiential designer. And then I also work with our assistant director of recruitment. So that kind of makes up my team. And then I work with all 5 of our schools here within the Scripps College of Communication. Within the Harris Student Support Center, our main role is supporting students and supporting their success, from advising to career to experiences, which we're going to talk about today. Our other big goal is students graduating on time and on plan. So we have their graduation plans that we work on with students, help them complement their degree with minors, certificates, experiences, all of these things that just make this place special.
Now that we've gotten to learn a little bit about Greg, now let's go into our Q&A session. First, Dean Titsworth talked a lot about the Scripps experience and really emphasized that word, experience. Let's talk a little bit more about what he means by that.
Yeah, Cedric. So we provide an amazing array of hands-on experiences for our students. Whatever their major might be, we can find something for anyone. We believe so strongly in the importance of real-world learning that we incorporate it everywhere, in classes, through on-campus involvement opportunities, and in our signature off-campus programs that take students from coast to coast and beyond. Let's start talking about some of our cool classes we offer that let students get real-world experience. Many of our courses are connected to the local community and allow students to give back using their developing skills to build up the area. Just a few that come into mind would be like Brick City Records, which is tied to our music production recording industry program, and it allows students to run a record label here in Athens, Ohio. We also have a really great class called Media 2702C, or Media for the Community, led by Andy Walla, that puts students into groups and teams them up with local nonprofits where they create content for a local nonprofit here in Athens, Ohio. Soul of Athens is part of visual communication, a VisCom class that teaches photojournalists to work with Passionworks Studio here in Athens, Ohio.
Well, Greg, it's cool that you mentioned Passionworks Studios because me and the Scripps Innovation Scholars, we got to work with Passionworks Studios during our first semester of college. And although it was online, we all got to be able to take part in an event and in something that could really help out the community.
Yeah, involvement is so important for not only all of our Scripps College Communication students, but of course every Ohio University student, every college student. It's something that I'm super passionate about. When students come onto campus at Bobcat Student Orientation, we already start talking about different ways for Scripps students to get involved on campus, whether that's WOUB Center for Public Media, The Post, which is our robust student-run newspaper, Brick City Records, the OU Game Developers Association, we call them OGDA. We have Variant Magazine, Thread Magazine, Gaming Research Immersive Design Lab, or the Grid Lab, our Public Relations Student Society of America, PRSSA. All these robust opportunities for students to get real hands-on experience for all 4 years that they're here. Ohio University has well over 500 clubs and organizations that students can get involved in. Unique ones to Scripps, we have around 30. We do a really cool student involvement fair during Welcome Week. It's probably like one of my favorite things to do during Welcome Week when we get 20 plus student organizations that are tied to Scripps here in Schoonover Center for Communication. And we want to make it easy for our students to get involved, to stay involved. And if there's something that a student wants to be involved in, but we don't offer at Ohio University, they can start their own club and organization.
Well, I've also had some really amazing opportunities to expand my professional experience on campus. So besides WOUB, the Copperheads baseball program, and ESPN, I was the on-field MC for the football team this year. And what's so exciting about that, Greg, is that this is an opportunity to be a part of a team that did so well this season and really energize the crowd. There's really nothing like those Saturdays, or in our case, some of those Tuesday night games where you get to have so many students coming in and just all cheering together for the Bobcats to get a victory. And to be there, to get to introduce the team out onto the field, and to get to work with Rufus the Bobcat on the dance cams, including the gritty cam. It was just fantastic to get to be a part of that. Plus, it really gave me a great experience that I can use and leverage on resumes in my future, where I have experience and I can say that I've talked in front of 15,000, 20,000, 25,000 fans at Peden Stadium and have been able to keep a good presence to me as well as bring a great energy. And I've seen that translate in a lot of different ways, such as even doing an interview like what we're doing right here today.
You know, Cedric, one of the great things about working in the Scripps College Communication, not only do I work with an amazing team of advisors and faculty members and the dean, but it's also just working with talented students like yourself. I was at one of the football games when they played Bowling Green, sitting in the stands with all my friends and our kids, and I hear a familiar voice on the loudspeaker. I'm like, that's Cedric. And just your passion and just seeing that smile on your face and the enthusiasm, it's awesome. It's so great to work with you. Cedric, can you talk more about the culture and how you've seen it benefit Scripps College of Communication students?
Yeah, Greg, I could definitely expand a lot on that. As like I said in the introduction, this was one of the things that really attracted me to Ohio University, with the Bobcats helping Bobcats mantra that continues to be repeated through not only the people that are currently here at the school, but also with alumni as well too. People are always there to help. That is something that can be very hard for people to do, Greg, which is ask others for help. And sometimes they may feel like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. That's a really bad thing. But when it comes to Scripps, everybody starts off at square one. Nobody comes in knowing all the information, knowing how to do everything. And when it comes to things like equipment or how to run a broadcast or how to do PR or how to do advertising, how to do music, many sorts of things, a lot of people start at square one. So having people that are willing to help each other out and really able to relate with that experience of being on square one at one point in their career, it just really speaks to how great the culture is here at Ohio University.
Thanks, Cedric. So before we move on to talk about our off-campus programs, I should mention the facilities. It starts with the Schoonover Center for Communication, which is where we are right now. We're in the Last Year Learning Center, which is an awesome library that our students have access to. It's our large lecture hall, Schoonover 145 and Schoonover 450. It's our visual communication art gallery, which is displaying student work, faculty work, alum, friends of the college. It's our gaming research immersive design lab over in Scripps Hall. It's our esports arena over in Scripps Hall. One of my favorite studios to walk by every day is the Pod, our podcast studio, which all of our students, faculty, and staff have access to use. You had mentioned the equipment room. We have multiple equipment rooms. We have an equipment room in the radio and television building, equipment rooms in Schoonover Center, as well as over in Scripps Hall for virtual reality and game development. In the basement, we have our Communication Resources Center, or CRC. Students can practice their speeches. We also have our animation studios, brand new in the basement of Schoonover Center for Communication, visual communication lab spaces, our studio spaces in Schoonover, as well as additional music production studio spaces over in the radio and television building. So there are so many opportunities for our students to use this building, Scripps Hall, RTV, and our students do have 24-hour access to the Schoonover Center for Communication. So they always have opportunities for hands-on learning.
Yeah, Greg, I mean, that 24-hour access, that is fantastic for a lot of us as reporters, because we're covering sports games and we're covering events that go very late at night. We're talking night games for Ohio football, Ohio basketball. Sometimes you're going on the road. If I had to do all my editing in the morning, I'd be in trouble having to come here at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. But we're allowed to kind of go work with a little bit of the college students' sleep schedule. Sometimes, it's not always the most, how should I put it, orthodox, but it is something that is very fun and where you really build a great bond. So when I was in WUB's Hardwood Heroes last semester, whenever we would travel to away games that were an hour away covering Athens basketball or Nelsonville York basketball, we would be able to come back, we could grab food, and then we'd go and access Schoonover, go up to RTV to the newsroom and do our editing for our highlight packages, for our video recaps, for our video stories, as well as just scripting things up for the prompter. And we would be there sometimes till 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. But it'd be very nice because this would kind of fit better with where we were able to be productive. Some people are better working at night than they are working at the mornings. And Schoonover, with the way that the facility operates, it really is able to work with whatever your schedule may be like. If you're a morning person, you come in here at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., crank out your work. If you come here and you're more of a night owl like myself, then you might want to be in here at 12 a.m., 1 a.m., just getting work done and being efficient out there at night.
Thanks for sharing that, Cedric. I will say there are some nights where I have to come into Schoonover Center late at night and I see students working, I see students first thing in the morning, and there's just always buzz in this building. Moving on to our off-campus programs, this is something that I get really excited about that highlights our experiential learning. Our Ohio and LA program. So, earlier we had mentioned that we're coast to coast, so we're East Coast, West Coast, but Ohio and LA is a program that we run during the summer. And then we have another cohort that runs in the fall. So it's a summer-fall internship program where students live and intern in Los Angeles. They take courses out there, they connect with Bobcats, they get to go to Dodgers games, they may be a seat filler at the Academy Awards. That's happened in the past, but students really get immersed in LA, in Hollywood, and all that wonderful experiences. We have our Scripps in DC program. Also runs summer, runs fall semester, really geared towards our communication studies, journalism majors, and visual communication. So students live and intern in Washington, D.C. We have music programs like South by Southwest, our local Nelsonville Music Festival. We have our masterclass in Brooklyn where students get to spend a week with a producer and create content in a real studio for a week. We have our storytelling and theme parks course. So our seniors get to take a capstone level course fall semester their senior year, and then they get to spend one entire week in Walt Disney World in Orlando, really immersed in theme parks and meeting Imagineers and really getting that up close immersive experience. We have a documentary storytelling class in Spain that many of our students went on during winter break. So winter break, I'm here, students are in Spain or in Orlando. Pretty special to hear about their different experiences off campus. So have a lot to offer our students, and there are many, many more that our students can take advantage of too that are outside of the Scripps College Communication.
Greg, you really mentioned a lot of great experiences throughout that time. And again, I've had a lot of different friends and a lot of people that I've gotten to connect with here on campus that have taken part in these different things, and they've been able to really promote it to a lot of our younger students as well as to our students that still have maybe a year left and want to have one last hurrah before they graduate. And these programs are fantastic. For example, the Scripps in DC program, that's something where I heard they got to meet with people from the Baltimore Ravens of the NFL. And my friend Claire Chiopita, she got to be there, and by being there, she thought about me and saying like, oh, you know that, hey, you love the NFL. So when we met with the Baltimore Ravens, I talked to them about you, for example, and you might be able to apply for an internship there just because I might have plugged you in. And that's just the type of friendships that can form when you're here at this school. And she also just had a great experience outside of that, being able to be a part of that. Not only do you also have experiences in America, but there are also some international experiences as well. Even if they are outside of Scripps, you can be able to really build up your learning a lot, as there are a lot of people at this school that want to be journalists, not only in English, but also in Spanish or other languages. And those international trips really get the opportunity for people to like cultivate their skills as well. So there's just a whole wide variety of different things. So Greg, I know you hit on some of the main ones, but there are even more than that if you continue to explore. Now, Greg, of course, most Scripps students also get hands-on experience off campus through internships. How do the college and schools connect students to these awesome opportunities?
It's a great question, Cedric, and one that comes up all the time, whether it's in a recruiting event or Bobcat student orientation or a first-year student in our office. Many students will say, I don't know how to find an internship. Or some students are like, I already found an internship. Tell me more about that. So we have coordinators within the schools that will help our students secure an internship. We also have an experiential designer who acts as a career coach that'll help students navigate Handshake, LinkedIn, our alumni network to secure internships. And we also have an experiential designer who will help students identify internships as well. So our journalism students, our visual communication majors, and our media arts production students must complete an internship in order to graduate. But majority of our students will complete multiple internships, which is really exciting to talk to students about their internship experiences. So we have a lot of resources within the college, within the schools, to help students identify different internship opportunities, not to mention our internship newsletter that we send out.
Yeah, Greg, you really set up a nice basis for us students to be able to go and find internships and just know that there are a lot of people that are actively out there looking for students to want to participate and students to take part who are feeling eager and just want to try to really work themselves into not only the journalism field, but also many other fields that pertain to the different majors of Schoonover. And with many of these internships, Greg, these are more than just, hey, I'm just doing this to get journalism skills. You're also learning a lot of other skills that pertain to whether it's social skills or being able to volunteer effectively or just being able to build positive relationships. These internships, they mean a lot more than just being something to check off as you're working towards graduation.
Cedric, totally agree with everything that you just stated there, and it's always just super amazing to feel your passion and energy when you're talking about all these things. So one thing we haven't discussed yet today are our amazing faculty members in all of our programs here in the Scripps College of Communication. Their passion to educate students and take students to the next level is something that I see on a daily basis and hear from our Scripps College of Communication students. So starting off with Josh Antonuccio, who is the director of the School of Media Arts and Studies. And Josh will take students to Brooklyn, New York for the master class, students to South by Southwest, Nelsonville Music Festival, a true mentor. Andy Walla, who runs the high school media workshop and teaches the class on media in the community. Chip Linscott and Eric Williams, who are telling stories with virtual reality over in the Gaming Research Immersive Design Lab. Elizabeth Hendrickson, who's passionate about news and storytelling through podcasts and coordinating that podcast certificate. Hans Meyer, who's the Associate Undergraduate Director in Journalism, who does all the digital content and digital storytelling, news storytelling, which is really, really exciting and passionate to see. Dr. Jerry Miller over in our School of Media Arts and School of Communication Studies. Mr. Tim Goheen over in Visual Communication, taking students to Lucerne, Switzerland for a visual communication conference. That's just to name a few, but it's really cool to see and work with these amazing faculty members that really bring out the most from their students.
Yeah, I've gotten to build a lot of great rapport with a lot of our professors that we have here. And a lot of these teachers, they do a lot more than just, of course, teach their classes. They also are advisors that kind of advise you through your graduation. There are also a lot of them that work with some of the off-campus things that we do and things that are maybe outside the classroom. And then even in the classroom, too, Tim Sharp is a professor I had for my television class where we talked about television reporting. And we went out, we made news packages, and he really challenged me to get a lot better in different areas, whether that was sound quality or whether that was my stand-ups, just finding ways to improve on the little things to make it as good as it can be. And then with Dr. Hendrickson, I love Dr. Hendrickson so much. She is a great professor, especially for that podcasting certificate. She teaches it with so much passion, and I just love being in her class. And it's really a place where no matter what type of podcast you listen to, she really is accepting of all different things and people bringing what is important to them in podcasting to the table. She really emphasizes passion, and that's something that I love. It really resonates with my spirit here at Ohio University. I know I'll definitely stay in touch with my favorite faculty members even after I graduate, and hopefully for years after that as well. As hard as it is to believe, though, I'll be an alum one day. We're talking just a year and some change from now, Greg, which is really crazy because I blink my eyes and I just remember not so long ago you were welcoming me here to Ohio University. But once you graduate, you're really excited, and I'm really excited personally just to be a part of a big network where, like I said, Bobcats helping Bobcats. Now I get to be that Bobcat in the field helping out other Bobcats as well as connecting with a lot of other people who graduated from not only Ohio University, but many other universities as well. But in general, let's talk about alumni here at Ohio University.
Yeah, Cedric, doesn't seem that long ago when we were interviewing you for Scripps Innovation Scholars, and here we are. But yeah, our alumni are succeeding all over the globe. And no matter where they are, they continue to serve as mentors, and they return to the Scripps College Communication to teach, to help our students, to network. They love coming back to campus. Of course, they love coming back during homecoming, but they're coming back all of the time. No matter where they are, they're coming back. We have several internship programs made possible thanks to our alumni network, our Bobcats Helping Bobcats. It's one of the reasons why our Ohio and LA and our Scripps and DC programs are so successful. It's Bobcats Helping Bobcats. So through those connections with our alums, our students really have connections for life. So Cedric, I think we're almost out of time, but I want to ask you one last question. What advice do you have for the students who are watching today?
Well, Greg, I have 2 things and 2 points of advice that I want to give to students. First, I want them to find their balance. I know it's so tricky in college. When you come here, you can get easily overwhelmed by all these different orgs. Which one do you want to join? Which one do you want to do? But it's really important to really find your balance. You're really welcome to take breaks from different orgs, to try different things. And it's really important throughout your time just to be able to try those different things while maintaining a nice balance as well too. You want to make sure you're getting your meals in every day as well. You want to make sure you're really sustaining your friendships and doing a lot of the fun things that are part of the organizations as well, because oftentimes you'll have meetings, but oftentimes as well you'll have opportunities outside of the meetings to connect and network, whether that's like going out to lunch or going out to dinner with some friends, or whether that is just going outside to throw the frisbee around or toss the football. Those types of experiences are just as important to your college days as it is to your success within your time at Schoonover. Then in addition, I would like to give the advice of finding your legacy, whether it's big or small, and really leaving that legacy here at Ohio University, where there's a lot of students here on campus and we all do impact the community in our own way. Like for me, I want to be one of the leaders of the OMIN program next year, Ohio Men of Excellence Network, which helps students of color to be able to find their resources here on campus by helping to be a TA for the OMIN-based class. And that's something where I can really impact some of the younger students of color that are coming through this campus and have an opportunity to leave my legacy in that way. Same thing with the broadcast organizations, whether that be WOUB or whether that be Bobcat TV, which is our play-by-play organization here on campus, and ESPN, by just being able to instruct a lot of people, give advice, and just be somebody that, hey, they're going to be talking about that advice and remembering those experiences. Even though you're coming in probably as a freshman, kind of just wanting to get settled in, as you go and you grow up within Scripps, try to find what type of legacy you want to leave. So that takes us to the end of our conversation. Greg, thank you so much for joining me here today. And throughout this conversation, we talked a lot about experiences. And I was just talking a little bit earlier with Bailey, who you're about to hear from, about her experience with the theme park class, which is something I definitely want to join coming up next semester. So the next voices that you'll get to hear from are Bailey and Bailey.
Thanks, Greg and Cedric. So hello, everyone, and welcome to Ohio Gateway Day. My name is Bailey McNerlin, and I am a senior communication studies major here within the Scripps College, and I'm just here to tell you guys a little bit about my experiences as a student. One of my personal favorite experiences that I've had here as a student was actually mentioned by the dean earlier. It is our storytelling and theme parks class, which is, like he mentioned, we study theme parks for an entire semester, and then for finals week, we went down to Orlando, Florida, to the Walt Disney World Resort and Universal Studios to kind of see everything that we learned in our classroom setting put into action in front of us. Because of the storytelling and theme parks class, I definitely have a larger appreciation for theme parks and hospitality industry as a whole, and I definitely can credit this class to landing me my very first job within the Walt Disney Company after graduation. I think you can definitely find something here in your wheelhouse within the Scripps College of Communication, because we do offer so many opportunities for students. As a graduating senior, I have definitely been in your shoes when it comes to the college selection and admission process, so my advice to you is to get involved in ways that you didn't really think that you could. For me, being a communications major, I found a love within a lot of our media organizations and publications that we have here within the Scripps College. So even if you don't think it's something that really correlates to what you want to do as a career or even what your major is, you can probably find a space in there where you belong, and you could just find a love with it, and you might be able to find something new that you would like to do with your career. Thank you for coming to Ohio Gateway Day, and I'm going to pass it off to my friend Bailey.
Hi, I'm also Bailey, and I am a junior and an animation major here at OU. I've met so many amazing people through just being in this program and just kind of sitting in Schoonover and working on homework, or just going to the animation lab and just sitting and working on projects with people. You never know who you're going to meet in this building, and it's just really, really nice to collaborate with all of these people. Outside of the people, just the networks that you build from being in this program are awesome. Over the summer, I did an internship with OHD Studios in Gahanna, which has nothing to do with animation really, but it just really helped me to kind of broaden my horizons and experience different parts of the industry like filmmaking and graphic design, which was really, really cool. This program has also helped me to study abroad. So I am actually going to Japan over the summer to study animation, which will be really, really cool and something I never would have had the chance to do otherwise. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Outside of that, I am going to South by Southwest in a couple of weeks, which will help me to expand my network even further. And then next fall, I will be participating in the Ohio and LA program, which is going to be just a dream come true for me, because it's really where the heart of this industry is. I encourage all of you to take a chance on this program. It has been just the most amazing past 3 years, and I cannot wait for my final year in it. And any advice I would give you guys is probably just talk to the people around you. Do not be scared. They are in the same boat as you are. Just take a chance and talk to them. You really never know who you're going to meet.